Hello, everybody. Yoga for Change. I'm Michael. Today is the 1st of January 2021, so Happy New Year. Today we have a... Why do I always say it like that? Let's say it again. Here is a yoga practice slash shoulder workout. So this is really something for the shoulders. It is both a sequence that will make you explore your movement range in the shoulder joint, shoulder blade, and hopefully also strengthen the shoulders. And maybe specifically, it's something that's always true, but specifically when it comes to shoulders, if at some point you feel pain, see it as just an indication of there is your limit. So that's a clear limit of where you don't want to go. Just know that different people have different ranges in ranges of movement. Shoulder joint is a very good example of that. So work within your range. Okay. So we're going to start. I'm just moving a little bit, my shoulders and my arms. You can do something similar. You can do something different to just warm a little bit. Come into a first very simple movement with your arms and shoulders. Also see that you are doing it together with your breath or in some relation to your breath. And then we start. I am sitting on my heels. You can sit differently, but choose an upright sitting position that is not too challenging for you. And start with your shoulders relaxed, arms stretched, and fingertips touching the floor beside you on both sides. And then we're going to breathe in and lift the arms up, and exhale, let the arms come down until the fingertips touch the floor. And then again, breathing in, raising the arms, and breathing out. Just continue doing this. You're doing it in your pace, in your rhythm. It can be a bit slower than what I'm doing, can be a little bit faster. One more time, breathing deeply in, raising the arms, and as you breathe out, let the arms slowly come down. And now we're going to lift only the left arm. Inhale, exhale, come into a side bend. So I'm grounding my right hand and bending the right elbow in order to really bend and bend over to the right. And now with the right arm, inhale, exhale, side bend to the left. And one more time on the right side. Inhale, lift the left arm, and exhale, come into a side bend. Really feel that stretch on your left side of your body. Then take the left hand behind the head. Inhale, look up, exhale. Start twisting towards your right hand. Inhale, it's almost as if you lean into the hand. Exhale, twist. 2 more times. In and out. And really go as far as you can into this twist, breathing fully out. Back to the middle. So we're going to lift now the right arm. Inhale, exhale, side bend to the left. And as you go into these side bends, make sure that the pelvis stays grounded. You're not tilting to one side, losing the grounding, losing your position. You stay grounded and centered. So one more time, reaching with the right arm. Exhale. Now take the right hand behind the head. Inhale, open. Exhale, twist. Again, in, out, in, out. One last time. As far as you can into this twist, and back to the middle. And now take the hands together, interlace the fingers, stretch the arms in front of you as you exhale, round the upper back, and then inhale, lift the arms. I'm hooking the thumb, spreading the fingers. I'm going to show it also in profile, so you can, in the meantime, do it again. And then again, hands together, exhale, stretch the arms around the upper back. And then inhale, lift the arms and try to move them a little bit backwards, almost like leaning a little bit back. Again, exhale, arms forward. Inhale, arms up. Again, breathing out, breathing in. In the meantime, I'm showing how you can also do it with a block between your hands. Can be a little bit different. Also quite interesting to do it this way. The block just makes sure that your hands stay in a fixed distance to each other. And it's also helpful to have an object in your hands because that's what the hands do best. They relate to things. Very good. Now, we do one more thing. The arms are doing what is called in yoga the cow face position, Gomukhasana. So what you do is the arm that you're lifting up, you're turning it out. The arm that goes down, you're turning it in. So really go for a big movement, reaching up with one arm, reaching down with the other arm. And only then, when you're done reaching, then start bending the elbow, both elbows. Maybe the hands meet each other when they land on your back. Maybe it's your neck, maybe it's your upper back, lower back with one hand. Maybe they don't come into contact with each other. So really make sure it's mostly about the movement rather than where exactly do the hands land. Now taking a block between the hands, we're going to have the elbows in a kind of a 90-degree angle. And then we're just going to keep that angle in the arms and try to move the elbows up so that they point up to the ceiling. And so the block and the hands move slowly behind your head and the elbows are pointing up. And what you don't really see from this angle is that I'm also trying to keep the elbows from opening, from going to the sides. I'm trying to keep the distance between the elbows shoulder width apart. Now, after all this sitting on the heels, I'm just stretching one leg and stretching the other leg. You can do the same. And we're going to start here on all four with some cat and cow, breathing in, lifting the chest, lifting the sit bones, breathing out, rounding the back. Of course, also including the head in this movement. Generous, big, nice, juicy spine movement in these two directions. Breathing in, breathing out. So now comes a little choreography that might also feel a little bit like brain gymnastics. So maybe it feels a bit weird first time, second time. It's gonna be fine. We lengthen the right leg, and then comes a big circle with the left arm. So twisting. Then grounding the right foot, we make a circle with the right arm, reaching over the head from here, coming up. And then reach up with the left arm, so it's a side bend to the right. Inhale, and now a big circle with both arms, grounding both hands. Switching the leg, so now lengthening the left leg and starting with the right arm. A bit confusing. Big circle. Now grounding the back foot, and the left arm comes up over the head from here, coming up and side bend to the left. So also here, the focus is on big arm movement. Try to make these circles with your arms as big as you possibly can. Again, I'm stretching the right leg. And now after circling with the left arm, I'm going to reach with the right arm over the head, coming up and then reaching up with the left arm, side bend to the right. Big circle with both arms, ground both hands. Switch the legs again. Lengthening the left leg and starting with the right arm, big circle. Follow the hand with your eyes a little bit. And then reaching over the head with the left arm, come up. Hand on the leg, reaching with the right arm, side bend, and then a big circle. Now, one last time, and it can kind of flow a little bit more. I'm doing it a little bit faster, connecting everything more, enjoying it, going a little bit crazy with it. Ooh, one side, just really feeling the space. So with your arms, you're relating to the space around you and to all the potentials of all the directions you can go into and feel and sense and connect with. Amazing. Now comes plank position. Active legs, and already into downward facing dog. I'm going to do this again. So plank, shoulders above the wrists, active legs, chest pulling a little bit forward. And when you go into downward facing dog, you might need a little step with your feet, a little adjustment. Now, inhale plank, exhale downward dog. Inhale plank, exhale downward dog. Inhale plank. Exhale side plank on the right hand. Inhale plank. Exhale side plank on the left hand. Inhale plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, side plank on the right hand. Inhale, plank. Side plank on the left hand. One last time. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, plank. Reaching up with the left arm. Back into plank. Inhale. Reaching up with the right arm. Back into plank. Knees on the mat. Breathe a little bit, move a little bit the shoulders. Now we're going to go into Chaturanga, which is yoga for push-up. This shows you a little bit what you should try and feel when you are doing a push-up. It's a little bit strange. So what you definitely don't want to do is roll the shoulders forward and collapse in your chest. Don't do that. What you also don't want to do is the other thing, which just looks kind of stupid. Good. So it's just about having a sense of pulling something back, keeping the elbows close to the body and the chest open without exaggerating that. Come into plank position. Active legs. And now as you bend the elbows, move forward. Exhale, inhale, push up. Exhale, move forward, bend the elbows. Inhale, push up. Exhale, move forward, bend the elbows. Inhale, push up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, move forward, bend the elbows. Last time, inhale. Exhale, come all the way down. Now, this is a nice little thing I learned from a climbing instructor. You're lying on your front side, just lifting the chest and the head just a little bit, the chest. The arms are in a sort of a cactus position and the hands are on the floor. And what you do is you bring then the elbows to where the hands were. And so that the forearms and the fingers point a little bit more up to the ceiling. And then you change between these two. I'm doing it, I think, 7 or 8 times. You're going to feel it in the external rotator of the shoulder, strengthening it. So bringing the elbows to where the hands were while turning the upper arm so that the fingers point up. But don't do that from the wrist. Do that from the shoulder. Good. And rest in child's pose for a few breaths, for a few moments. So now bring the elbows on the mat and the hands together. So it's like you're creating a triangle with your forearms. And tuck the toes, lift the sit bones up, come into a dolphin or an elbow downward dog, whatever you want to call it. And keep pushing the elbows, the lower arms into the mat, lifting the sit bones. If your knees are a little bit bent, that's absolutely fine. That's okay. Good. Come into a smaller plank, keeping the pelvis high, shoulders above the wrists, rounding the upper back, and then bring the knee, the right knee, to the forehead for 4 to 5 breaths. And then both feet on the mat, side plank, and try also here to create a kind of an arch, lifting the pelvis a little bit higher, pushing the left ribs up to the ceiling. And then take the left foot behind you and push the foot into the ground, push the pelvis up, and at the same time, push the right hand into the floor and reach with your left arm. This is the wild thing. It's a kind of a spiraling back bend on one hand, one arm. Just a little recovery thing. Cat and cow a couple of times. And we go to the other side, pelvis high, rounding the upper back, shoulders above the wrists. Bring the left knee to the forehead. The right leg is fully stretched, very active. And then both feet on the mat. Come into a side plank on your left hand this time and try to push the pelvis a little bit higher, create this arch. Do something creative like what I'm doing with your hand if you find that the wall is too close. Take the right foot behind you and from the right leg, push the pelvis up. Really ground the left hand and try and open the chest and reach with the right arm behind you. Good. All right, little pause, child's pose. So this variation of child's pose is very nice because you turn the upper arms in, palms of the hands facing up, after all this work that we're doing with the external rotators. This is a block. Hello. Have the block between your hands. You can take this part as an bonus material, optional. Only do this if you want. The rest is obligatory. And you take the block between your hands, try and see that the lower arms are parallel to each other. That's the idea with a block. And you do what we already did once, which is lifting the sit bones. And now with the lower arms in this more parallel position, you might feel that it's a little bit more demanding, a little bit more challenging, because you're turning the upper arms out. If you want to go fancy, lift one leg up. If you really want to make it fancy, nice and fancy. Yeah. So, and now the last part of this little extra part, bonus material, absolutely optional, is that you bring the mat, you make a nice little jump, you bring the mat to the wall. You can do the same thing, but with the wall behind you for safety. You can kick up and use the wall as a support behind you and come into a kind of a banana lower arm balancing upside down pose. That's the full name of the pose. And come down. When you come down, one leg at a time, no need for any drama, no need to crash on the floor. One leg at a time, come down. Child's pose. We have one last thing, very nice to do after all this work we've done, is to hug yourself and say thank you to your lovely shoulders. So you have one arm on top of the other, and then you can take this for a spin. Take it around and relax the neck, relax the head, and move it around. And then change the arm so that the other arm is on top. And again, and maybe change the direction of this little circular movement. And relax the breath. Yeah, I hope this does something good to your shoulders. Shoulders are definitely worth taking good care of. Comment, subscribe, do all the things you can do on YouTube. Have a great day and have a good year from this time of recording, 1st of January. Let's hope for good things.